Nice.
Welcome to the KickStart session. And if you've missed a session, lucky for you, we recorded it, but do make sure you come along to the live sessions because this is where all the goodness happens. And Jimmy is the man of the hour and the lucky fella who's going to get all of our goodness. And
Yeah,
that
you can't
is
ask us any questions if you're not here live. So turn up and be here, and well, you can send questions in, but it's
mm,
more fun if you're here with us because we can actually go through things with you and get some feedback and bounce back. Generally
exactly.
works better. There we
Yeah.
go.
There
I
you
think
go.
do we kick off with me waffling a bit about AdCon and the importance of going to
Yes.
communities.
Let's do
Okay.
that.
I have spent the last 3 or 4 days at AdCon 2025, run by John Pemberthy. Um, I actually know him. I've known him about 10, 12 years, maybe longer. And I think I actually originally met him at an event. So now he's running his own events with 1,000 people in the room. I
Wow.
think they're actually about 850 there, but he had a room of up to a
Yeah, a
thousand
lot.
people.
Yeah.
And basically he started off at the same sort of events as I was going to, and now he's doing that. He's generated over 100 million for himself and his clients. I think he's done over 30 million turnover himself. If you've not heard of John, he specializes in building webinars for himself and they for clients,
Mm,
and automating them through YouTube traffic. He started off way back in the day on YouTube, just doing videos about this, that, and the other in internet marketing. I think he was running around on the Warrior Plus forum or the Warrior forum for a little while. But yeah, went fairly quickly. Once he learned YouTube, he went into paid ads for YouTube and did his own course, and then paid ads, and then went on to webinars. Anyway, the point that I'll come to, the really important bit here is going to events. Now, running a launching your own product, one of your biggest assets is your contacts and your affiliates, and you're never going to be in a better situation than at a live event to meet some of the most amazing new people you'll ever meet. The first real one that I went to in the UK was in 2007, and I met Soren Jordanson, JP Schoffel, Simon Hodgkinson. Who else was there? Jeremy Gislason, a whole bunch of marketers. Those guys stick out, particularly in my mind, John Merrick, because they've ended up being not only business partners of mine over the years, they're also some of my best friends in the world outside of marketing as well. So the thing that's probably had the biggest effect on my success has been going to events because you make friends with people who are start off with contacts who will promote for you, but they can also be accountability partners. So you can get on a call every week or 2 weeks and talk to each other and tell each other what your plans are. And they'll chase you up in 2 weeks and say, right, what have you done? Where have you got to, Matt? Did you get that done? It's like, oh, no, I didn't. I will next time. But they also you go to an event and you meet four, five, six, seven people, however many it is, find the two or three that you want to get on a call with on a regular basis. I would say on Skype, but Skype's disappearing. So Microsoft Teams, Zoom, whatever it is, find some way of
mm,
having that regular meeting because the odds are they'll have different skill sets to you. And when you get stuck on something, the likelihood is they'll be able to help you with it and vice versa. So it's the first steps of building up your list of contacts, your group of contacts, and your inner circle that over the years expands, and the inner core turns into some of your best friends, in my experience. So yeah, 3 days at AdCon, fantastic. Fortunately, AdCon is one of those events where the quality of the content and the people there is really high as well. I went for the first time last year and I took a little notepad like that and I
mm.
filled it up with notes as I have again this year. This is a 100-page notepad and it's almost full. The one last year was only 80 pages and I filled it up. You won't always find that is true at an event. A lot of
Mm,
the time there will be pitch fests.
mm,
The way John runs his is he delivers an awful lot of high value content. On day two, there was a traffic panel, and just one of those tips was one that will probably, for me, pay for me being at that event. and I'll
Mm.
actually share it. It was from
Oh,
Pete, one of John's own team who does all the creatives and all the YouTube and the video stuff. And you have your end screen on YouTube, and we all have the subscribe bit, and then we always have a next video that you should watch to lead them onto another video.
Mhm.
They now have a third video down there, or a second video, another bit down there that is an unlisted video they have on their channel that is basically a sales video for where they want people to go next in the sales process. And I
Mm.
was
I
like,
have it sitting on the end screen.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's next coming
Mm.
up in the thing. Yeah.
Well, it's not the next one. You have something that's related as the next coming up. So you
Oh,
have
okay.
you go with the three options: the subscribe to my channel. Here's the next video you should go to. But down here, if you actually want to watch this,
Oh, okay.
introduces yourself, shows what your service is, talks about that, and it's kind of a warm up. It depends on how you want to do it, but basically
Hmm.
get them into the sales process then and there,
Yeah.
because you can have it as an unlisted video on YouTube,
Hmm.
and obviously YouTube like to keep people on the platform. So it's unlisted, so you're not taking them off the platform. So it's not going to
Hmm.
hurt your algorithm or anything like that. But it
Okay.
is taking them to a sales video of some sort, whatever fits in with however you want to do it. So you're taking them to that next level, next step in the process. And I was like, why have I not thought of that? It's not
Not
occurred to me.
bad. Just paid for
But
my
that's the thing.
yeah.
I've been doing this 25 years. I'm very much of the opinion you can teach an old dog new tricks if the dog is paying attention and putting
Right.
himself in front of new tricks.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, literally there 3 days, I took pages and pages of notes. That one alone
Mm.
will return the money that I've spent on being at the event. And that's not all I got from it. As I said, I got pages and pages of notes. I've also got
Hmm.
some very valuable new contacts, um, both for clients and customers and working together as partners. I actually sat down
Yay.
kind of in an interview scenario with one person where I was the one being interviewed, and I'm like, oh, this hasn't happened in a while. Um, yeah, really good. Took him out for dinner later on as well. So you can guess it went quite well.
Oh, that's
So
good. That's good, Matt. Hi,
the
Rona.
core point. Oh, yeah, Rona. Hi, Rona.
You're on.
Lovely
Rona,
you
I'm just going
here.
through stuff about the importance of going to events, having just come back from 3 days at AdCon. I was actually there 4 days, went down the night before. And
Mm.
that I
Hi there.
the aspect of going down beforehand. I mean, again, it comes to the type of event you go to. John's is a very content-rich one, but there will be events where you go that are pitch fests, and you may not find it as valuable being in the room and taking notes. So for
Mm.
those, it can be worth it just to go along and be at the event, outside drinking coffee or smoking if you smoke. I do that when I'm at an event, or
Hmm.
just find out where the hotel is that it's held in,
Oh,
and
yeah,
be in
that's a
that
good
bar.
idea.
Yeah, yeah. There are
Run into
different
people. Yeah.
there are different
Just
phases you
be
go
in the
through.
lobby at the right time,
You
like all
smoke.
day.
That's why I smoke. Everybody goes in and out the front door.
Everybody
Stand by the front door, having a
knows,
smoke and a
yeah.
coffee. Yeah, simple place. You catch everyone sooner or later.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are four phases that you go through going to events. The first phase is your newbie. You go into the room, you pay as much attention as possible and learn stuff. The second phase is you realize how important it is for making contacts and friends. So you go whether you're in the room or not, and you probably don't spend that much time in the room, but you're there hanging out outside, talking to people, making contacts, building your network. The
Mm.
third stage is when you start going back into the room and you're paying attention to the speakers because you're watching how they pitch and
Mm.
how they deliver
Yeah,
the content.
learning.
So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
learn how to do that yourself and potentially learn how to be on stage. And this time I've learned there's actually a fourth stage. There's when you're going back in to watch someone as to how they put together the whole event because you
Mm.
do your own events or you want to do your own event and you're watching how it's all formatted. And John's follows a particular format, but he's done it really, really well. It all leads up to a big pitch. Some of the people doing talks are his clients who've had success. So the social proof is built in throughout the 3 days.
Mm.
And it all follows sort of a path and a theme.
Mm.
So his end pitch isn't cheap, but it is good and he knows his stuff. So it works quite well. I reckon he made a profit on the event, even though the rumors were he's probably spent upwards of 1 million on putting it together.
Mm.
which isn't
Yeah.
cheap.
Well, he's not going to do it, for a second time. Or is this a second or third, fourth, fifth?
Fifth or sixth, there was a break
Yeah.
over
He's not going
COVID.
to keep doing the events if he's not walking away with
Bingo.
the
Yeah. He
value
has
there.
said he probably
Yeah, it
won't go
has
any
to be
bigger
cost
than
effective at the end of the day.
he
Yeah.
has said he probably won't go bigger than a room for 1,000 people at the moment. So the next one will be about the same size, but
Mm.
if he can make extra money from it, he'll basically bring in better speakers, and the quality of the speakers is brilliant anyway.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So
Awesome. Awesome.
other
Awesome.
tips, because I've not finished, there's more.
Yes.
Take take a pad, take your notes. Often they'll give you a pad and a pen, but make sure you've got your own. Make sure you've got your own pen. I actually love this because this will fit in my pocket. They gave us a great big, lovely pad to write on, huge one, but that
Mm.
doesn't fit in my pocket. So
Mm.
I've got to carry that in a bag or have it under my arm. Depends on you, which you prefer, but that I know fits in my pocket and I'm not going to lose it.
Mm. You need a
So
man
yeah,
bag.
normally when I'm at the event, I'm staying at the event, so my bag's in the hotel, but I'll have just sort of some sort of jumper with a pocket in, so I can slip it away.
Yeah, good.
Those notes, make sure you go back through them afterwards because that reminds you of the nuggets, and you can use ideas in there for content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is someone who goes to a lot. He goes to, I forget whose name it is, but the guy goes to like things like traffic and conversions, writes up all the notes, and then publishes his notes as a product. He's been doing it for years.
Mm.
You're trying to remember his name as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like I've
Yeah.
seen
Can't
that.
remember his name. I'm like, oh,
Right?
yeah. I bought his notes many times in the past. And so you can do things like that, but you can certainly reuse the notes for your own content. It's great ideas for content. And yeah, coming back to talking to people, depending on your personality, it can be difficult to go up and do that approach.
Mm.
That's why sometimes being around in the bar in the evening is easier because it is easier after a beer or two and everybody opens up and such like. It does depend on the event and whether you know where the hotel that the event is and whether you can get into there. But there are other ways. As I said, I smoke, so hanging out with other smokers makes it really easy. I'm not
Oh,
encouraging starting
yeah, yeah,
smoking.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're a smoker, it actually works out good because,
Mm.
yeah, well, I only smoke at events. It's one of the reasons why I
oh,
only smoke at events. I still do that. The rest of the time, I don't smoke.
an event smoker.
Event smoker. My version of social smoking. I'm a marketing
That's so
smoker.
funny.
The other thing that I should have done better this year, have your socials all set up and have the apps for them on your phone.
So you can
Because
just
I
share
don't
them
have
with QR
LinkedIn on my
code.
phone. Yeah. Well, people are asking me to hook up with them on LinkedIn, and I'm like, I've not got it on my phone. They were like, well, get the app and log in. It's like, I don't know my passwords. They're all on RoboForm, aren't they? I haven't got a clue. So I'm like, duh,
Duh.
newbie mistake. So make sure you've got the apps on the phone. Make sure you're logged in. I would also say do a little bit old school. Have a card.
Hmm.
Worst case scenario, you can give someone a card. And on that card, rather than having all your socials, what I'd actually go with is having your main domain name / and then the name of the event and do your intro and all the
That's
links
cool.
because you can just repeat that page.
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
you can also then add notes and content to that page later on as sort of a summary of that event. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
have a page on your site that
Yeah,
is
that's actually pretty
relevant.
cool.
Yeah. Because that way, if people say, well, do I just go to mattgarrett.com? Well, no, you go to mattgarrett.com / adcon
That's fun.
2025
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, awesome, awesome.
Or just adcon.
Hmm.
Uh, that and the other note that I didn't do enough of. I do reasonably well on this, but never enough because now you need to do videos as well. Take pictures, take photos, but also take some video footage as well. Because even if you're not creating a reel or something while you're there, if you've got the footage, you can do it later on. And that's all good content that you can use. Take photos, make sure you've got them for blog posts. I always do a summary blog post of an event I've been at, but you should actually be sharing them on your socials as well. I've got some new friends on Facebook. I've got some new likes, a bit more traffic simply because I was sharing them.
Mm. Yeah,
And I'll share the
cool.
funny bit that I just shared with Paula before I came on. Um, in the event, they've taken the time to print off these sort of big posters of photos from previous events. And one of them on one of the columns in the main foyer is two people, one of them being me at last year's event. And I'd been walking past it for 2 days before I spotted. Well, I didn't spot it. Someone else said, "You do know you're on that column." I was like, "What? Where?" Oh, but then I took a
Yeah,
photo of
that's
that over my shoulder, so even more social proof. Yeah, all these things add up. And again, that happened because I've been to two ad cons in a row.
mm,
You do things like this on a regular basis, things like that happen, and it builds your profile and it builds your network. So it's easier for people to remember who you are. And
mm,
the last one is have some sort of elevator pitch that is not too long and reasonably interesting. Mine's
mm.
quite difficult because people ask what I do, and I go, well, I do this, 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 and this. And they're like, what the hell? I mean, yeah. I also run a course on how to focus on one thing and not do too many things. No, that bit's a joke.
Ah.
Find a way of building something in there that makes them laugh, and you'll get in their memory as well.
Yes,
So
that is really good.
the other one that I
That's a
use,
good tip. Mm.
given the chance, I'll go into some sort of anecdote. And one of my favorites is I used to own, I do again now because I just re-registered it last night because I'm like, I should be using this still. I used to own the biggest porn site in the world.com. I purchased it. I purchased two versions,
Yeah.
ORN, i.e. porn,
Hmm.
and AWN, i.e. porn, as in a chess pawn.
Hmm.
Mm.
And I registered it, excuse me. I registered it because my kids were often being asked by friends and teachers at the time in school, "What's your dad do?" And they tried explaining, and nobody was getting it. So I thought, I've got an idea. I got both versions. One of them, the porn, chess porn one, was basically a t-shirt site with a great big chess pawn on the t-shirt. The
Mm.
ORN version redirects through to the chess porn t-shirt site. And obviously, someone who my daughter or my son saying to their grown-up teacher, "What does your dad do?" And they say, "Well, he runs the biggest porn site in the world.com." What's the assumption going to be?
Yeah, exactly.
So they're going to go to the ORN version, be
Mm.
redirected to the AWN version and go, "Oh my God, I was wrong about him." And then a moment later go,
T-shirt.
"Oh, well, hang on, but he has redirected me. So what the heck is going on?"
Yeah. Trick or
So
treat. It's a
I
Jedi
tell that
mind trick.
story. I tell that story, and it tends to make people laugh and get in their mind. So if you've got an anecdote like that that's related to marketing, even better. If it's not, just find something that's funny. If you can make someone laugh, they're
Yeah.
more likely to remember you.
Yeah,
Simple as that.
exactly. Exactly.
So there we go. Go to events, meet people, have a beer if you need to meet people. Not encouraging smoking. Take your own notes. Make sure you've got something to take notes with. Get your socials done. Get the apps on your phone. Have a card. Have a separate page on your site. Reuse those notes for content. Have a pitch ready. I say a pitch, an elevator pitch, short something that this is what I do. This is why I'm here, and something funny if you can as well. There we go. 20 minutes.
Brilliant.
I knew that would take more than
Yeah.
5 to 10 minutes.
That was awesome, awesome. Well, I'm so pleased that Rona's here because actually I was going to do a congratulations post inside of Course Creation Warrior because you're one of our highest revenue affiliates from the course
Oh,
creation product.
Yep.
Yes.
really nice.
Yes. Yeah,
Yep.
Matt was just saying, well, do you know she's like the third highest revenue on the from the course creation product? I'm like, yes.
Based on revenue, you're actually ahead of Bish at Clever Systems, the blocks boys. Um, so you would have actually been based on the leaderboard. You would have probably been third because I wasn't on the leaderboard. So you'd probably been third on the leaderboard if it was during the launch. There you go.
Nice. They're
Good.
all actually one-to-one prospects. I did email them. They all kind of went to me personally, and I personally
Yeah.
recommended it. Mostly
Well,
just a
Yeah.
view call. I was like, I know Paula, she's amazing.
Ah,
I
ah,
know you want
Rona.
to launch products.
Yeah.
Go connect with her in this product. So
Yeah.
that was my
Yeah.
big pitch, basically. That's good.
Oh, awesome. Well done. Well done. Yeah, like the whole reason why we actually created Launch Advantage um was because we wanted to get people together like yourselves who are interested in creating a product and actually give you the support and get you into a community where you guys can connect together. And that's exactly what Matt's talking about with AdCon, is that he's going to these events because he's building his network. And over the years, since 2007, he's been able to make these relationships and connections that have been lifelong business connections and have become personal friends of his. And that's the whole idea with Launch Advantage. Obviously, it's in its very early stages, and it's something that we were both really passionate about and that we really connected on, because we were like, well, we can actually help, people who want to.
One of the downsides of events is it does really depend on where you live. I'm really fortunate. In the UK, if
You're in
there's
the
an
UK.
event, I can normally get to it because it's not too far away. Paula, you live in Australia.
You've got to get on a plane.
Yeah, but if it's the other side of Australia, it's a long plane journey. If
Yeah.
it's in America, if you're in the US, I was talking to Jeremy the other day, Jeremy Gisterson. He's up north somewhere in Minnesota or something like that in the US, and he was talking about going to Charlotte for the JV Zoo thing, and he was like, "Well, it's probably going to take me as long to get there as it would for you." And I'm like, "Oh, forget about that." It's because the US is a massive place. So the idea behind this, what we're doing, is to give you an opportunity to network people and get together and talk with people who are in the same place, and us here as well to help without having to go to an event, because you can't, it's not always that easy. Now, I must admit, I cheat here as well, because I run my own event of sorts, because I invite
You
15
do.
to 20 internet marketers to Cheltenham every 3 or 4 months. So they all come to me and they're all like, "Oh, thank you for organizing this. Thank you for organizing this." And I'm like, I don't have to go anywhere. You all come to me. So once you do start building your network of contacts, depending on where you live, if you're central and you can get away with, "Oh, come to me," organize something. And eventually the word will start. I mean, I've been doing it 10, 12 years now. And I have to limit it to 20 nowadays, because once you get past 20, it gets really difficult to organize a restaurant. And they all want pre-orders and things like this. And 20 is my limit. I can cope with that. Other than that, I mean, I prefer it when it's 15, 6 or 12, because you don't have to pre-book or you don't have to pre-order. But anyway, the point is, if you have got people who are your friends and your contacts and you can start doing that now, do so, because it will grow over time, and it will help your reputation, it will help your authority. Everything you do like that always helps, and it saves you money if they're coming to you, because you're not having to get a hotel or travel or do that. But don't tell the guys I said that.
Yeah. So what we might do now for both of you, because we really want to hear from you guys, like where you're at, what support do you need from us? What insight do you need? Have there been anything inside of the course creation course itself that you have questions about? Like, what's your next step? I had a great chat with Jimmy the other day, and there is a recorded video of that from the picture product session inside of the Launch Advantage community. But yeah. How about we start with you actually, Rona? If you, like, what's your plans? What are you planning on doing? And do you have a partnership that you've got, or like what's happening with you?
So at the moment it's I couldn't go to the picture product. I think it was at midnight, and I was like,
Yeah,
I think
I'm
I was
sorry.
all ready to go, and I think I fell asleep before it was actually time. But so I guess my dilemma is I've got a couple of things I've had some success in, like for example, and looking at like the DIY. The kits the kits, and there's stuff like the link in bio thing, because that's mostly my kind of social media focus, and I've had a lot of success in that, and just with social media or whatever affiliate things you have. But there's also obviously that DM component in terms of reaching out to DMs. And I know that's a pain point for most people, because I know it's so effective. I probably made thousands from the DMs, but it's such a hardship for most people, because they have to actually reach out, then you get pitched back at them, and if you want to do a simple thing, you've got your scripts, but in terms of software, I don't know how to go there if I even want to reach that section, because I know if you've got Go High Level, for example, or one of its variations, they do have that in that system where it's kind of there's automatic replies, and then you can kind of reach out. So that's in terms of actually doing the product and I guess not what's the word? It's not facilitating, actually producing that product. That's my stumbling block in terms of producing the actual thing for them to use. So that's kind of that's what I'm kind of stuck on.
You want to create a product that will DM reply to on socials?
On LinkedIn.
Possibly, yes. So yeah, I'm thinking that at least the beginning part would be, okay, it's just scripts, or this is what you can say. That's, I guess, a simple version. Yeah.
For the moment, the best thing to do is come up with some different prompts that you can play around with to give them, nail that down. We haven't done it for LinkedIn yet, but Chad has got AI Bot Studio that will do it for WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. I know they were looking at LinkedIn, but I've not spoken to them for a little while. I don't know whether it's actually possible on LinkedIn yet or not. To create your own, it's one of those things where you go back 6 months, I would be saying, yeah, you're going to need your own programmer, you're going to need this, that, and the other. And you'd probably still need your own a programmer, but you'd probably only need them for a very short while to look over the code that you get out of N8, 10, or something like that. There are certainly AI coding systems that are going to make that kind of thing possible to create without knowing the code within 6 to 9 months. For the moment, the one I'd look at is Replete, because that allows you to chain things together by the sounds of it. I haven't played with it enough yet, but Replete, I think it's Replete AI, that allows you to chain things. So that would potentially allow you to take prompts that people are using in ChatGPT and then chain them into LinkedIn as a DM. Again, something I am learning as quickly as I can. But the idea is you have a chain prompt where a DM comes in, that triggers something in, say, a Slack channel. The Slack channel then goes to ChatGPT, runs the prompt, brings back the data, that triggers something else that prompts it, sends it back in LinkedIn as a reply DM. So it's all hands-free. You can do that currently, I believe, with Zapier or Make and the different tools. But you need an AI bit in the middle. I think Replete is what does that.
Super cool. Hey, so you're onto a hot seller there, by the way, Rona, because traffic is super hot. And I'll tell you, in 2021, I launched a product that was on LinkedIn, and we had a software product that was created. We went to a software developer, had him create a Chrome extension. And the Chrome extension actually did all of the, went out and did the friend requests and operated as the bot to make connections and all that sort of stuff. And that product sold really well because traffic is, of course, really hot. These days, that's a 2021 product. Chrome extensions is sort of like not really the thing now because there's AI.
Well, you can use AI to create, that's one of the things N8, 10 will do. It will create a Chrome extension for you in about an hour or half an hour. You just need to know what you need.
The poor developers, they must be furious. Well, we would have to pay them for it,
If they're using it themselves, it means they can get all that work done quicker and they can see whether it's been done correctly and whether it's working correctly and make any mistakes, correct anything that comes out wrong, which is why at the moment you potentially still need someone who knows coding to have a look over it to make sure it's all, anything you get out of AI right now, you should still be checking before you throw it out there. But you can get working versions of Chrome extensions built for you using AI.
Yeah. The other tip that I have for you too, because I'm quite close to what's happening on LinkedIn, is that you can get personal assistants there and they do the DMs and do your posts for you and all that sort of stuff. So I'll find out if there's actually a cost associated with that. I'm thinking that it must be a teeny tiny little cost associated to it, or it's part of if you have a business account or something with LinkedIn or whatever it is, but you can actually get a Philippines-based personal LinkedIn personal assistant, and she answers. You give her your templates, and she does all the DMs and posts for you on your LinkedIn page. It's crazy. It's crazy good. So you're onto a hot product idea there, and obviously you've said that you've made thousands of dollars on there, which is brilliant. So it's a proven way for you to get traffic. And so for you, Rona, I would just be moving forward at speed with the development of that product. Do you know how to actually get the structure of a product together easily? Because you can just use an Excel sheet and just start and map out the whole product.
Yes, I guess I do. I think I've seen some of your. I think you've mentioned your Excel
Yeah,
thingy
I'm like the
one of
Excel
in the
queen.
post. Yeah. Though my only block is it's the word I remember now is like the fulfillment of it. So in terms of do I actually obviously it's always good to have software, but my fear of software is like it'll fall over in 2 seconds. The software there's always a fail point at some point, and would I want to just go with like an information based thing where okay, here's the information, this is how
Yes.
you do it. You can go use this other software away from what I'm doing. Just feed the stuff that I give you. So that's probably my only, I guess, my blockage in terms of, and also I guess
Yeah,
with
I
like a
would,
quick
personal
start because I
assistant
want
thing might.
something relatively quick and I
yeah.
don't want that to bog me down.
Money loves speed. I would go with the info products because you can get that done right now, and
I'm
you
with
Yeah.
can,
that.
and then you can look at, if you can look into that assistant thing, that could be an upsell. Here's a
I
list of
think
places you can
that's
get assistance from. Here's a cheat sheet of different applications, different software that will be able to automate it. So you've got sort of, you can either have that as an extra resource or as an upsell. I mean, you could potentially train.
you
You
could
could you
cut a
could do
deal with
videos
it.
on how to train your own VA and sell
Yeah.
those as an upsell. Because once you've
Mm.
created the product, you know exactly what needs to be done. If you then do some training videos on how you would train your VA to do it, you can sell those as a resource that's an upsell for people buying the front end. And once you
Yeah,
get
I mean,
the,
I know so many people that are so like fed up. They really do want to outsource it, though. You shouldn't really at the beginning because you want to know your customer and all the points important stuff. But it's some people just don't want to deal with, even though they know it's supposed to be really good. So that'd be really appetizing and really exciting to get to outsource
the
it
other
to
thing you're
someone.
doing there is you're bootstrapping step by step. So you get money coming in that you can then use to pay to get the software developed once you know exactly what you need to do based on feedback from customers.
Mm,
Your
nice one.
customers are, this can sound wrong. Your customers are a very good resource for you. Yes, creating something like Course Creation Warrior, there are extras that you do like this, which will earn us more money, but it will also allow us to build our contacts. This is always a two-way street. If we help you have successful launches and make more money and get more affiliates and get more customers, would you possibly end up promoting one of our products? Maybe. You know, it's always should always be an open mentality that creating wealth for others, with others, helping them get where they want to be. Karma tends to be good, and it comes back to you in some way or other. So your customers should be treated well, but they are also a valuable resource of knowledge because they will help you understand what you got right in the product, what you didn't get right, what you can add to it, because they'll come back and tell you if there's something missing. And that's brilliant
Mm.
feedback because you know what else to add in, you know what to add in as an upsell, how to expand the funnel. Is it just LinkedIn that you use, or do you use any of the other socials? Rona, sorry.
Paula, you can do. I mean, for me, it is through Facebook. I am
Right.
mostly using Facebook. Now, the same techniques apply to LinkedIn. It's just I've never really done a huge focus on that, though it's probably more
With-
fresher because the amount of when you tend to get into Facebook, you end up being in that, not an echo chamber, but you end up attracting the same you're in the same pool, whether you like it or not. So it's hard to get
Yeah.
out of that little audience. So I guess
Well, that-
LinkedIn is that fresher. You get more of a
It-
range of people in a diverse areas, and I guess you know the profession because you want target people with jobs. But people who have got jobs can have the afford to buy more stuff. So for sure,
Yes.
that's always an option. But I've never actually dug deep into that and expanded that. But I guess it is transferable in terms of.
LinkedIn is on my list to do more with this year because it is a fantastic place to get good quality clients from
Mm.
because they generally have more money. They're also often business people who are doing things where they will take action. With the greatest will in the world, there are people on Warrior Plus who just buy something on a regular basis to feel like they've scratched an itch. We're trying to help people that take action, and a lot of people on Warrior Plus unfortunately don't. LinkedIn, the ratio is going to be higher on the action takers. There will still be people who don't do anything because that's our nature as customers. I've got loads of products that I bought that I haven't done anything with, but it is a different beast, LinkedIn, and I haven't played with it enough. It's something I'm working on this year. So if you're doing Facebook, are you familiar with Group Collector?
No. But is it one
It's
of those things where you can collect links from the people that join a group? One of those, yeah.
you get their emails. It's groupcollector.com, and I use it on a number of different groups. And basically, what you do is when someone goes to join the group, they have to answer some questions. And one of those
Yeah.
questions you make, give me your email address,
Oh, yeah.
and that you can then feed over. It goes into a Google spreadsheet, and it's also integrated with Aweber or GetResponse. Boom, straight into your list.
Mhm.
Got it on
Yeah, I do love
AppSumo
that.
as a
I have it. I have
lifetime
the
deal.
Yeah, yeah. It's cool.
Sorry,
I'm sure you guys know Kim Dag in
I
the space.
didn't
So she has. I
get
have
that. You
her
broke
version of
up.
it. Kim
Sorry,
Dag.
Verona, could you?
She has her own. Kim Dag. She has it's called Group Convert, and it basically does the same thing. I have it,
Right.
but yeah, it's amazing. I use it a lot. As part of the that was one of my other things in terms of Facebook is that when you have them collect them in a group, you become the authority as well, and it helps with the DMs and things like that. So
Yeah.
it really works really well.
The problem with Facebook is obviously they throttle the number of people in your group or on your page that actually see. So, I mean, this is one of the reasons why we chose Community, because we know that people who are in the group will see what we send out. And on that basis, I would recommend having a separate group off Facebook that you build up over time. I think there's many ways in which AI is going to change marketing. We can't foresee all of them yet, and I think a lot of people aren't even looking at what's coming. So for me, one of the most important things you can do over the next 4 or 5 years is build a personal brand, and an audience or community is better. So like Facebook in a way is your audience. Your community should be off Facebook where you can get in touch with them directly without Facebook being involved. And that is going to set you up to have a very valuable thing in your business outside of AI that AI can't take away from you. So build your audience, build your community. And I've forgotten what the third one was that I said. What else did I say? I said something else and I've forgotten. It's been a long
Personal
couple of days.
brand community.
I can't help you with that. I've forgotten too. Hey, so Rona, what I would suggest for everybody to do is that with these product ideas that you have, right? And the LinkedIn one I think is brilliant. Start talking about it inside of the Launch Advantage community, because this is where people will give you some tips on what they know inside of there. Because, of course, you may not have known about the personal assistant, all that sort of stuff, and all the stuff that Matt's been giving you information about with Replete and building your own Chrome extension, all that sort of stuff, or even just knowing that, the money loves speed thing is, don't sit on the idea, just build it, and then Matt and I will help you guys with launching it. That's the whole point here, and we'll guide you. And so what you need to do is start posting about this inside of the Launch Advantage community, and then start talking about what, the upsells are going to be like. And then we can give you feedback on that, and you can keep moving forward every single day. Like every single day, keep moving forward with the build of the product. And like Jimmy and I were talking about the other day, is also you want to, now that you have the idea and you have a very solid idea and you have lots of proof, right? Is that you need to get the date of when you want to launch this down on paper. And that is your timeline, right? You want to have this product ready at least maybe like 4 weeks before then, because this is a launch that you'll need to spend 4 weeks building relationships and telling people about your launch. And we'll help you with that as well. So yeah.
I'm bad at having my products ready in time.
I know, you are so bad.
They're ready in time. They should be ready in time 3-4 weeks beforehand. I get away with it because people know I do deliver. I've been doing this for years. They know the quality of my stuff, so I can fly.
Don't use Matt as an example. He's a terrible.
Yeah, I had to wait on a video for you to post to finish the course. I knew it was coming.
I know.
I've still got some more videos to add into Course Creation Warrior, partly because it was supposed to be 14 videos. And I think we're up to 18, and there's probably going to be 24. I kept, as I was going through the process, and they were supposed to be, 8 to 10 minute videos. There's 2 in there. There's one that's 35 minutes. There's another one that's 18 minutes. And I don't like leaving things out. I heavily edit my videos to get them down. So a 14-minute video, by the time I've edited out all my ums and ahs and such like, it'll come down by a good 1.5 to 2 minutes, because I figure I take the time to do that. I mean, it takes around 40 minutes per 10 minutes of editing, but I like to invest that time because it saves my customers the extra time of listening to me and and all of that sort of stuff. There you go. See, there's an there.
May I ask if do you manually do it? Do you remove your do you do your editing, and do you? Okay, yeah. I put it on. I used to love Descript because you used to put it in, it'll automatically take the ums. But in CapCut, even the free version, you upload it, it transcribes it, and it finds out the ums, and you can just remove all the ums, or you can just delete it. It'll transcribe it, and instead of editing the picture, you edit the words, and it just deletes the thing. I love it. I hate the editing is such a long process because I have to watch it, I play it back, I watch it. It's like I just want to do it live because it's just too much work. So it's too much.
Live is fun to do, but it depends on what I mean, if I'm creating a webinar for someone and it's going to be used as a replay and evergreen and stuff like that, then even if I've done a live, I will edit it afterwards to change things around and tweak them and things like that. I've not tried CapCut. I will try that. One of the problems, because I have tried the software that takes out the ums and the breaths, but what I found was often it would do it somewhere where I didn't want the actual visual taken out. So
I found that too. I was like, yeah, it's okay.
And I've never found one that actually got the ums correct, so I still end up editing it. But it could get a good. It's something that should be possible now. It would have probably to be the best. It would need to be something like 11 Labs, where you're training it on your voice and your style, so it knows your breaths and your ums, and it would edit them more correctly, more accurately. So I suspect that will be there. I'll try CapCut because it's one I need to do more reels and shorts for Instagram, so I'll have a look at that. You'd save me, if I can find the right software to do it, 20 minutes per 10-minute video I'd save probably, which is a massive amount of time in the number of videos that I do. But there we go. What was I saying? Yeah. Money loves speed. The doing the the information version first means you can crack on with it and get to that stage where you are getting the product out there and earning some money. That makes the process of then deciding if you want to do a software version a lot easier.
Mm.
Going back I think that's where we started that chain of thought, I think.
Yep. All right, Jimmy. Exciting
So
stuff
thank you.
with you too. Rona,
Yeah.
have you actually launched a product before?
No, I haven't. I've kind of I've had like webinars and sold products to them. I'm doing a 5-day challenge soon, and it's got products in there. So I've sold stuff, but I've never done like
Yeah.
a big launch,
That's cool.
with
Yeah, you've been doing little things.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought you'd been doing
Yeah.
little things. Great. It's really a
I've
good
done
build
one
up.
OTO. I've done one OTO, but I've never done the third OTO. So I've kind of, but not. I don't feel. I don't like to say yes. So I've kind of just done bits and pieces. But yeah.
Yes.
Kind of sounds like a yes to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
No,
5-day
we're gonna
challenge is a product, effectively.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
True.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jimmy. Over to you, buddy.
Okay. Y'all know I launched an offer in January. Matt was actually my JV manager. Where I'm at right now, I'm actually committed to launch another offer with Wayne through him. And I actually did this before I come across Course Creator. He's about a month too late for me. But so I'm doing that. Hopefully, we'll launch within a month or two. But I want to follow something up behind it of my own. So that's what I'm excited about this because I want to continue launching. On a kind of a regular basis, every other month or something. Just kind of build that up. So what got me excited about the Course Creator, I finally saw the back end of how Warrior Plus is set up. So that was real valuable. I'm already using AI for my course creation. I've already got 10 things laid out, ideas and stuff. And I'm working on the one. I got a meeting tomorrow with Wayne to nail that one down, but I've got other ones I want to present on here. So I'm going to be working simultaneously on both of these, but the first one I'm going to launch with Wayne, and then soon after the one through here. So I got Paula told you I got some ideas. I'm going to shoot you some PDFs, let you look over them, kind of get some feedback. I mean, I've done the trees, I've done the sales page, and it's all info, no software. And I did got Product Dynamo to do it on because I saw how Matt did his on that, and it looked really super easy. So I got the platinum on that. I tend to jump ahead on stuff, and then I got to work my way back sometimes. So that's
How unusual
why.
for a marketer.
You didn't get my email then. I said, just get it
But
on an Excel sheet and then we'll find out how we're going to make it look pretty afterwards.
right, yeah. So I got a lot of stuff laid out for that. Now, when we get to the point where y'all are helping us launch, what exactly is involved in that?
Yes, everything, like whatever you need from us. Like essentially
Okay.
we can, yeah, we'll really point you in the right direction. The thing is that back to the very beginning of this Kickstart session where Matt's talking about AdCon, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
the connections, right? So for you, for anybody who's launching, what makes our launches that we're involved in as JV managers so successful is that we're very well connected in the community. And, we have a lot of relationships that we've nurtured over years. For me, 4 years, for Matt, like 200 years. Um, you know, so yeah. So these
Feels like it.
relationships, yeah, and they're trusted. And to Matt's point before with his last minute course creation warrior membership videos and stuff, and more to go in there, is that we've already built that trust, that likability, that knowledge base, all those sort of things. So this is the uphill battle for you all. Everybody's got to start somewhere. I started in 2021 and launched it must have been like every 7 or 8 weeks. It was not quite 2 months, just under. And so over a period of a year, and then continued launching after that with Genie Marketing. So yeah, that really built up a lot of connections and partnerships because they trusted us that we would provide affiliates with a high converting offer. So we'll tell you that the number one thing is that all affiliates want is to make money, and they just want an offer that they can promote that converts, right?
And they want you to make it easy for them. So
Make it
when I
easy.
go to someone's JV page and there's no swipe emails, I'm like, why? Why?
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
it's so easy to do to generate some swipe, especially nowadays. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen as much as it did. You go back 18 months, and it was a fairly regular thing. And I'm like, so are you going to force me to write my own? And I'm perfectly capable of writing my own emails, but it
Right.
means I've got to go through the sales page, if the sales page is ready, or the product in enough detail to work out exactly what it is. Whereas if they've written a series of swipes for me, I can grab one or two, and I won't use exactly that one. I'll take bits from here, bits from there,
Right.
tweak it to my style, but it means I'm not starting from a blank page. You know, no affiliate marketer wants to start from a blank page if there can be something, because the product owner should know the product well enough to be able to give them enough information to be able to do that and, create the swipes for them. Sorry,
Mhm.
one of my pet peeves. But yeah, so they,
Yeah,
they want to
yeah,
know they're
yeah.
going to make money, and they
Mhm.
want to know that it's, the customers are going to be looked after, and they want to be able to get it done fast.
Mm.
Yeah.
And the second thing that affiliates come to launches is if they like the person.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a big thing, and that's before contests.
Mm.
A lot of the
There are
time,
many times where someone's promoted for me rather than someone else simply because they know me and we've sat in a bar and had a beer at some point and yeah, I'll make for you, Matt. It's like it's great. Cheers, mate.
yeah, because because it's more
It's the human connection.
enjoyable, and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's likability too. So that's the thing. So yeah, so you'll need to build that over time. There's also, there's reciprocation, but that's not the be and all of everything, but also does help if you can select some partners and have a short list of affiliates that you do go to their launches,
Hmm.
things like
There is
that. But how we'll help you is that we'll be here to help you with all of that. All
Yeah.
of that.
there is also the aspect for doing recips. There'll be sometimes where you want to promote someone else's launch, even though they haven't mailed for you because you want to get their attention. There are
Mhm.
sometimes where you want to be strategic about it. And if you find that there's a fairly new person doing a launch and they've got a JV competition going on and they've got a leaderboard, even if there's no money involved, if there are not many people promoting and you think you can jump on that leaderboard and grab a top 5 spot, a top 3 spot, and get a screenshot,
Yeah.
that can be
Hmm.
worth it alone. So
Yeah.
always be tactical about your thinking. What is there in this for me? At the end of the day, you are building a business. So you've got to take your business into consideration in every aspect, every decision. Yes, you look after your customers, but that's a smart business decision anyway. Any decision you're looking at, always have in the back of your head, is this good for my business? What can I get out of this for the business?
I think I
Yes.
have a screen. I think I was in a Warrior Plus leaderboard once. I've got the screenshot. I have to go find that screenshot now.
There you
So
go.
that's my
Yes,
next
yes,
goal.
yes. That's exactly what I did in 2021. I found a launch. Well, I was always on the leaderboard, but I was probably 10th, ninth, hard to get in the top three and win a contest. But I found a launch that was with a medium-sized vendor, and I came second. And I was like, finally. Finally, but it just happened to be really congruent with my list, and I really did mail a lot. But I
That's
got the
also something
placing.
that
Yeah.
happens with your list. Mailing for other people's offers, sometimes it will be something that you really, really like and you think is going to convert with your list, and it's tumbleweed. And you're like,
Hmm.
what's wrong with you people? It's brilliant. And then
Hmm.
there'll be other times where you take a punt on something because it's like, well, it looks okay. And your list will go this is the best thing since sliced bread. This is the best thing since air fryers. And you're like, whoomp, sales are coming in, and you're like, yeah, I better mail for this one a few more times because I'm going to make more money, and because, oh, look, I am sneaking up the leaderboard. Um, Leaderboards are there for a reason. They do encourage affiliates to mail more, but
Mhm.
always be aware that you will not always know what's going to be a good fit for your list, because only your list don't know that, unfortunately. I've been doing this, I've been email marketing now for, I think my first list building was back in 2007, 2009, and I still don't know what my list likes.
Mhm. Yeah, I know. That's like
It's very
launching. You never
frustrating.
know whether or not, how it's, yeah, it's like the headlines. You never know which headline's going to work. The one that you think is going to work is not normally the one that works. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
but it's easier to split test that.
It is easy to split test that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll mail our list for our JV lists for your launches. We'll be
I'll
there.
also put them in my Facebook JV groups as well.
Yeah, we'll be there for you guys to really help you with your marketing. I mean, Matt and I do it slightly different. So it's kind of good too. We have a different circle of affiliates too. So, like there's loads that we can share with you and say, well, look, yeah, I'm even running
And
at the moment, I've got a launch coming up on Monday and I'm running an Excel sheet. Actually, I'll show you guys so you can see. And because,
I have Excel sheets for pretty much everything in my business. I am now moving some of the stuff onto Google Sheets because where it's a shared document. So affiliate stuff where because I work with other big companies where I'm looking
yeah.
for new affiliates outside of internet marketing for them. And all that sort of stuff I have to share with them. So I share that on a Google Sheet because it's easier than running it on
Oh,
Excel. But
so
yeah,
good,
Google
so
Sheets.
good. So this is a sheet that I'm working on at the moment, right? And because this launch, I've never actually been involved in a launch that is for publishing and is the example is a coloring book. And I've had so much pushback from affiliates. So I've had to my work cut out for me. I've had to go out there and research like who sells coloring books, who's been on their contest lists, and I've had to make all these connections with other people. Some of these people were also because Johnny Andrews, who's been in IM for 20 years, right? He hasn't launched a product on Warrior Plus for like, I don't know, maybe 10 years or something. And so this is the first time that he's coming back and he's got no means to do reciprocation and stuff. So this is going to be a really interesting one for me to give you guys feedback on. And so I've had to pull all kinds of strings and I've got all sorts of strategies going on here, even getting Harris, who's the affiliate liaison at Warrior Plus, to assist me with some stuff here, right? And so, yeah, I've had to really go to a lot of different affiliates. So now I'm at the stage where I've got to go back through this list and reconnect with these people and get confirmation that they're going to come to the launch on Monday. Also, the timing of the launch, we're surrounded. And you're always going to find that. I always get worried about it, but also I think I can't worry about it too much. The people who will love this product will come to this product. Luckily, Ike actually has a product that is sitting at number one at the moment. That's a coloring in book. So I'm like, oh, the timing couldn't have worked out better, which is really cool. And yes, so don't underestimate the work and the that goes into this. And obviously you guys have probably seen on my Facebook page, all I'm doing is talking about this is Johnny. Is talking about Johnny's launch that's coming out with the coloring in book. And yeah, so I just am going on about that. Yeah, so hopefully it goes well, but you never know. I just put in as much work up front to get the message out to everybody, and I've got all these little strategies and
I was
ideas.
actually on a stage with Johnny Andrews back in probably 2011.
You're joking.
No, not the same stage. Well, the same stage, but not the same time. I think his presentation was after mine. Thank God, he's too bloody good. That man.
I was
It's one
going
of
to
the most
say,
entertaining stage talks I've ever seen. The guy is just genius. He's really, well, he's a lovely bloke, basically. But
he's a
yeah,
fantastic guy.
yeah.
And his
There's
product
level.
is crazy good. His members area is nuts. The information and the way that he teaches people is
He
crazy.
reminds me a bit of Simon Hodgkinson. It's the same sort of genius going on a marketing level. When you do reach out to affiliates, you have to track it, so you have to know who you've reached out to and such like, and what response you get, if you get any. Bear in mind there will be a lot of people that do not reply. The majority of people won't reply. Some of those will still promote for you.
Yeah.
They just don't reply, but that's
Mhm.
fine as long as they promote. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
What some will do is they will send a test email, and depending on how big they are will depend on how much they send. It might be a whole day's traffic, or it might be one email, and they will see whether it converts or not. And this
Mhm.
is why when you're when you're first getting affiliates on board, you still need to be very careful about who you approve.
Mhm.
And in my opinion, you shouldn't be approving people who have a refund rate of above 5%, at least until 2 or 3 days into the launch,
Mhm.
because you really, really need to be protective of your first day's stats. So bear in mind, what you really want to do is keep it to the people that you know are going to sell and do good numbers, and be very, very observant on the first day of anyone who sends lots of clicks and no sales. During Course Creation Warrior, I think I switched off two.
Yeah.
One who'd bought a solo ad and it just wasn't converting. I've done it
Oh,
in
hate solo
almost,
ads on day one.
yeah, but I didn't know he was going to do that. So sometimes you
No,
don't know, but the
no.
moment you see it happening, if someone gets to 500 clicks and zero sales, that's the point at which you need to be thinking about switching them off. And you can go into
Even
the affiliate
200, I
bit.
think.
Sorry.
And 200 is a caution. I
If they've
mention
got to
just caution.
200 and zero sales, you should start paying attention to that. And yeah, I'd be tempted, especially on your first launch, I'd be tempted to switch them off very quickly after that, unless it's a name that you really recognize and think, what's going on? In which case, reach out to them. But I've done it to people whose names you may recognize as well. So I'll, duck off water off a duck's back. If you're sending me that number of clicks and I'm getting no sales, sorry, mate, come back in a couple of days.
Yeah.
That you have to do sometimes.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
protective of your stats, because those first days conversion stats will affect those people who are doing a test mailing. It will more likely bring them on board, and it'll more likely bring other people on board. So that first 24, 48 hours is really, really important. Even if it's not massive traffic, it's about keeping the conversion numbers up. So if someone does send you 100 clicks, if they see 10 sales, even if those are sales in the funnel as upsells, they're probably going to mail again. And it's the other reason why having good upsells is so powerful, because your upsells will normally convert 2 to 3 times as well as your front end, sometimes more. So they're suddenly getting more sales from the one mailing. So instead of the 100 clicks turning into 2 or 3 sales, it turns into 10 sales. And some of those are funnel sales that are bigger and higher value, like Rona had.
Yay. Full
And
fun.
when you're setting up the affiliate competition, I always go with the gross amount for the affiliate competition as opposed to the number of sales, because that
Oh,
way it
and I do
really
it
rewards.
differently.
I used to do it number of sales.
Hmm.
Now I do it at the gross amount of the sales, so the revenue, because that tends to reward people who do things like set up bonuses and convert more into the funnel. If you've set up a bonus for the first OTO and the second OTO, they're going to convert higher into the funnel. They're going to make more money. I'm going to make more money. Our stats are going up. Boom. That
Mm.
again, my opinion. Paula and I have different
We
ways
have
of
a
doing
different
it.
opinion on that.
And my opinion is that this is one of the powers of being in this group. You can hear both our opinions, and what you should do is what works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rona, question.
Yeah. So I guess as a newer a newer person, and I guess we're not reached to that stage yet, when you give commissions in terms of percentage, I know it depends on where you are and how your back end is. But to attract those affiliates, does it matter how much commissions if you go for the 50, 60, 100 on the front end? Of course, everyone wants to get more commission, so you want to attract them there. But and you want to make some sales. But if you're in the beginning, there's not too much of a, you might at the stage I haven't got a bit where I'm, upselling to a higher ticket, or with phone calls or whatever, or bigger webinars. Right now I'm not at that stage. But in terms of attracting affiliates, how much does it matter in terms of how much commissions you give them?
In my opinion, can I go first, Paula?
Yes.
In my opinion, and this is based on feedback from affiliates. If your front end is under $10, you need to be 80 to 100%. If your front end is $17, it needs to be at least 50%. I would say 75%. After that, it's in the back end 50%.
Yes, and mine is a minimum of $25 needs to be paid to each affiliate on the front end and the bump combination. So the front end, I always say has to be over $25, and that's like pretty much my recipe for success. You'll see pretty much every launch that I'm doing in 2025 will have a front end price of $17.97. I have this thing for $17.97. Anyways, it seems to work, so I ain't changing it. So that's what I recommend to my clients, and $9.95 for the bump. And that combination goes out at 100% commissions. It is also great for the marketing in terms of saying to affiliates 100% commissions on the front end and the bump. So, and also it's great for the stats because it will have your EPCs and your average order value. It helps with that. Well, actually, it really just helps with the affiliate in terms of them being able to see that they're making money. And as soon as they can
Yeah.
see that they're making money, then
You'd be
they'll
surprised at how
remain.
many affiliates look at the base numbers and go, right, how much am I going to make on each sale on the front end and the bump? It's a simple bit of math that they can do and go, yeah, I'm interested or I'm not. Having that bump is really important.
Yeah. And
The other thing I would be aware of there, if you are giving out 100% commissions, you will actually be making a loss on every transaction because whilst the Warrior Plus fee is included in that and dealt with, your Stripe or PayPal fee isn't. So you will actually just be aware because that can be painful as a newbie when you first discover that and go, ouch. So if you've at least got that in your head, it's part of the calculation that you're doing.
And like we can talk more about this in detail too, and maybe we'll have a separate session just on this one topic. But really, it depends on what your end goal is too. Like for most of my clients, they're just wanting to get as many leads as many. Yeah. So hence the reason why I have a contest that's built around front end units only, and why we have 100% on the front end and bump is that's where the concentration is. Obviously, we need to make sure that the upsells sell too, but often we'll set them at 50% or 75%. And the aim, also my responsibility is to make sure that the vendor actually ends up in positive ROI. I mean, the buyer click system, the emergency income kit, and course creation warrior, they've all been in positive ROI. And in fact, on at least like the buy-a-click system was nuts because the vendor walked away with over $50,000 in his pocket and it's still selling. And Frank, he just didn't want to have any debt after the launch. He wasn't even expecting any profit. I was like, don't worry, I've crunched the numbers. If we do 1,000 front ends, this is what we'll have. I'm like, you'll cover your costs. I've built the funnel this way, da 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 da. It went better than expected. We hit really great, yeah, insane numbers, and it was just a very unique product that we went out with. Emergency income kit, they were really, really nervous. They were thinking that they were going to come out with the debt. And to Matt's point, yeah, they were like, we're only going to use PayPal and we're going to have PayPal fees, yada, 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 all that sort of stuff. And because we had 100% on the front end and the bump and 75% on the funnel. But actually, they ended up walking away with extra money in their pocket there. But their end goal was just to get those leads who were interested, people who were interested in making small increment amounts of money in a fun way to their back end product. So that and that's where they made,
This
their money.
this is where the length of time that you're doing this kicks in.
Yeah.
Once you've got back end products, which is where
Yeah.
you actually make your money, all
Yeah.
Warrior Plus
Mhm.
and JV Zoo become are another form of paid traffic. So your launch is just another way of getting bums on seats of people through the door. So it's not about making money from the launch because that's not what the business is based around anymore. It is
Yeah.
just another form of paid traffic. But obviously that's not where you are typically straight away.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like, yeah, you can make money, decent money from your launches, so long as you have the affiliate backing, you have a high converting offer, it's on trend with what's working at the moment, it's what people want, it's transformational. Like there's so many boxes to tick, and that's where Matt and I and our experience and our knowledge, and because we're launching like virtually every day of the week, we're launching a product at the
I'm
moment.
actually
So we know
I'm
what's,
actually having a little break at the moment, which is lovely. I've done
oh, I've got three
150.
launches this month.
I've done 150 launches over the last 12 years.
Mm. You counted them?
Yeah, I've got a spreadsheet.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, some of those are relaunches, version two, version three, but yeah, 150 digital product launches over the last 12 years. And it's like, that explains something. The grey hair, for instance.
Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, don't worry, guys. Focus, step one, focus on the product creation, right? Get feedback from us. And Jimmy, don't be shy of putting your ideas inside of the group
Okay.
yeah,
because sharing with everybody else inside of there is powerful. It's
Okay.
powerful because other people who are also thinking about their product launches will be able to contribute and it will also help them. Like we're a small group anyway. There's not going to be, it is really just going to benefit each of you. And through this, too, through being open and sharing information and what you're thinking and what you're looking to create, will actually build lifelong partnerships inside of there. Because, like, you two are brilliant. I know there's others that we're hoping to get, onto the lives and into the group a little bit more. But you two, know each other now. You guys knew each other before?
Yeah, we've met in London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great. See,
Hmm.
so like there's already a business partnership between the two of you that you can nurture over time. And you're both launching at the same time. You can share stats, you can share your wins, your failures, learn from them, and we'll be here with you guys to guide you along the way too. So, yeah, yeah. And also, like we can make sure that your dates don't clash. Yeah. We just want to, your products, we might, and anytime I've got this coloring book coming out, guys. If it goes well, I mean, Jesus, okay, publishing, faceless, let's dissect this. What other opportunity have we just unlocked that's, that anybody can tap into? So, yeah. I think
Right.
that's pretty much it, isn't it?
I'm gonna say we're quarter past. I'm gonna have to run away in a minute.
Yes, I
I've
was
got
going to say it's
yeah,
bedtime for you and Rona.
bedtime. I wish.
Still early
I'm in the
evening for
pool.
me. It's only 6:17 p.m. So
Yeah, not for you. I've got a full day ahead of me too.
Quarter
Mhm.
past 11 here. I've got to be in the pool by 9 o'clock tomorrow, but I have another webinar to prep for tomorrow. I also run webinars for clients and broker webinars. So sometimes everything's going on. This is one of those weeks.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited
Awesome.
for both of you. Thank you for coming along to the live. Everybody else will get the recording, but you two will benefit largely and more obviously. Yeah. Look forward
And
to
yeah,
chatting to you more
I,
inside of Launch Advantage.
I'd also like to thank you both for being here and encourage you, as Paul is saying, post in the group. I will be answering as often as I see questions come up. I will be checking on a daily basis and getting answers in there because I'm interested in helping you.
Yeah.
So
Okay, great. Great.
ask me stuff.
All right. See you
I
later,
will do.
guys.
All right.
Thank you,
Cool.
I,
guys. Thank you.
good evening.
Bye. Bye.